All right, welcome back to Good Day Columbia. You know, it wasn't the blowout that many maybe have expected when Vandy came to town a couple of weeks ago. Although coming off a bit of a bruising, the Bulldogs left with the Gamecocks. It was a much-needed win, and they got it. Now, joining this morning from the legendary Gamecock blog, the Leftover Hotdog, Brian Roberts. Good morning, my friend.
Hey, good to be here.
So, yeah, they beat Vandy, but some folks say maybe not quite as handily as they probably should have.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Tyler, in that it was the offense that Carolina fans have really been expecting since Spurrier came here. Come out fast, run pass mix, put 28 points on the board right off the bat. Then a turnover kind of gave Vandy 10 points right before halftime. Carolina still looked in control, but, you know, turnovers are a cliche for a reason.
Sure.
Carolina got down there, fumbled a punt, fumbled a turnover. Vandy was able to flip those short fields into touchdowns, and all of a sudden a 28-10, 35-10 game got real close, real quick. Carolina's defense able to step up there at the end, force some turnovers, and get away with a win in the SEC East.
Special teams really kind of played a role in that for Vandy. Anyway.
Absolutely. Special teams are always huge, and turnovers are always huge. So when you combine those two, you fumble a punt, you fumble a kickoff, and especially you do that back-to-back and give Vandy two short fields. Even in a game where you're comfortably ahead, you can be in trouble, especially in a conference like the SEC. With a team like Vandy that's recruited some good players, new coach, they're able to make it dicey for you.
Was there any time that you were like, we're about to lose this ball game, gentlemen?
No, Carolina was always to maintain a two-score lead, which I think is always important. And with Carolina's defense, with the playmakers they have, it definitely got a little dicey. I don't think they were ever in real danger of losing the game. But certainly in a situation where you didn't want to be in, where maybe get some reserves, some time, get some other folks ready to play, where you're still having to leave the starters in there deep in the fourth quarter.
Let's talk about Clowney for a minute. Now, you know, folks were expecting him to play like a god, and he's actually playing about par with last year, which they love him. But now they set him up so high in the offseason and are disappointed in the fact that he's still playing.
Yeah, the hit that everybody's seen a million times now on SportsCenter it's a career-defining play. But the bad side of that is people are going to watch it and they're going to expect that week in, week out, and that's just not possible to have a play like that. He's been facing double and triple teams. Every offensive coordinator had 8 months to study film on him, to come up to game plan for him. So with the attention that Clowney's getting, that's letting other guys get a chance to make some plays around the ball. So Clowney might be having the stat line that everybody wanted, but he's still impacting the game every time he's in.
Sure. All right. So the final score last week for Vandy USC, 35-25?
Yep, 35-25.
25. All right, guys. We're going to stick around with Brian here from the Leftover Hotdog. It's the leftoverhotdog.com. It's a great blog. Talk about all sorts of USC sports, certainly football. We're going to take a look at heading down to UCF next when Good Day Columbia comes right back.
You are watching Watch Fox, Columbia, South Carolina.
This big and toasted is better than ever. Gotta be the steak.
Oh, it's the steak.
Maybe it's the ambiance or the witty banter.
No, it's a steak.
It's definitely a steak, man.
The new Angus Steak Big and Toasted is even better. It's big on steak, huge on delicious. Grab one today. America runs on Dunkin'.
This month at JT's Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lexington, we vaporize prices. You've never seen savings this big.
How big?
This big. Like a new Patriot, just $13,990. Or a Grand Cherokee, just $225 a month. Or this big. Save up to $15,000 off of new Rams. $15,000. New 300 or Town and Country, just $199 a month.
0 down, 0%. Pay nothing for 6 months.
JT's Chrysler Jeep Dodge, jtsjeep.com.
Can I watch cartoons?
Oh, why don't you go outside and play? Oh.
But there's a storm.
Sorry, buddy. Uverse has their limits. Mom's recording 2 shows, Grandpa's watching the news, and I gotta watch the end of this. And that's the limit. I'll be out right after the game.
With Time Warner Cable, you can watch more than 4 shows at the same time.
If you reached your limit, it's time to rethink Uverse. Call 1-855-WANT-TWC to get TV, internet, and phone for as little as $79.99 a month. Ask how you can upgrade and get a $300 Visa reward card. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
At Lexington Auto and Truck Outlet, you're approved.
I had a bankruptcy.
You're approved.
I've been turned down by every dealer in town.
Your credit approval is guaranteed, or we'll pay you $1,000. Only at Lexington Auto and Truck Outlet, where a handshake makes a difference.
Coming up on 20 minutes to the top of the hour, Skywatch weather time. Well, we're in the mid-60s, low to mid-60s across the Midlands. 61 for you in Newberry, 63 in Orangeburg, and Camden and Sumter, 64 in Columbia at the Metropolitan Airport. On our WeatherBug network, you can only find here on Watch Fox. Calm conditions in Winnsboro, 60 degrees in Ridgeway at the Scanna location, 63 at Heathwood Hall in Columbia, the low 60s in Pillion. So we had those showers go by overnight last night and yesterday afternoon as well, but they're all to the east of us right now, and we do see cloudy skies, and those will begin to go away for the rest of the afternoon. A partly sunny afternoon. Winds are out of the north-northeast around 3 miles per hour. Northeast at 3 in Camden. Pollen watch is medium, on the low end of medium, thanks to that rain yesterday. Hopefully we can get that down the low at some point over the next couple of weeks. 74 by noontime. The upper 70s is where our high temperature will go, but mostly clear by this evening, Tyler.
All right, Garrett, thank you very much. And, you know, hype is at fever pitch in Florida. The UCF Knights flying high, 3-0, by the way, looking to make it 4 at the Gamecocks' expense. Well, that's something Steve Spurrier and his team certainly are well aware of. Now, some folks in Orlando are calling Saturday's game with the 12th-ranked Gamecocks the biggest in program history. There is a reason to celebrate, of course. That's coming off that big win with Penn State. But are they going to do it to the Gamecocks on Saturday? Returning from the LeftoverHotdog.com blog is Bryant, and Bryant Roberts. What do you think, man? I mean, this is a big game.
It's a big game. I'm sure a lot of Carolina fans are looking down the schedule and they're saying, you know, what are we doing going to UCF, you know, after we've already played SEC games? You know, normally you're playing UCF earlier at home, right, as opposed to on the road. One of the things is Carolina wants to go down there and they want to raise their profile in the state. You know, you can take the top 250 players in high school in Florida and 3 or 4 years later look at the number of players drafted, and you're going to see a lot of those same names. Carolina signed 9 guys out of the state of Florida over the last 3 recruiting classes. Ace Sanders was a really big get, who's now in the NFL. So Carolina's going to go down there, and they want to poach some of that Florida talent.
Sure.
Unfortunately, some of that talent is going to be playing for UCF. Blake Bortles is a really good quarterback. He's hitting 70% of his balls right now.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean,
it's very good. Amount. It's very good. Kind of 60 to 62% is kind of the goal. Mm-hmm. He's hitting 70. He's got 8 touchdowns so far in the season with only 1 turnover. And UCF's tailback is a highly regarded 4-star guy, played in the Under Armour All-American game, spent a year at Miami before transferring. He's averaging 5.5 yards a carry. However, in Carolina's favor, you know, we all know the player Mike Davis is. So I think Carolina's go down there with a very physical mindset, take control early, put together some strong drives. Carolina's going to have to play well early. This is kind of the game where if they make mistakes in the kicking game like they did against Vandy, and they let UCF hang around, the longer that's a closer score, the longer, you know, UCF's going to think, hey, we got a chance to beat these guys.
Sure. Well, we did hear from the coaches of both teams. Check this out.
When programs are going real well, it's not who you're playing, it's that you're playing that the fans get excited about. And I think when you reach that point, some of the programs in the country have that. All right, it's not, they don't care who they're playing, they're still going to pack the place up, and that's what you're looking for from your fan base.
So it should be a heck of a game. It's a big game, and we try to recruit our guys to come here to play in big games. So we should like big games.
Should like big games indeed. Why is Florida? Why is so much talent in Florida? Is it the weather? They can play year-round and practice, or what?
That's part of it. Part of it's just population. You know, South Carolina per capita is a top 7 producer in NFL talent. But there's less than 4 million people that live in this state. There's over 18 million in the state of Florida. So it's not that South Carolina's talent's not as good as Florida. There's just not as much. The weather's part of it, and then the culture in a lot, especially South Florida. On the muck, the south rim of Lake Okeechobee, it's football 24/7, 365 down there.
It's almost like Texas in that regard.
Absolutely.
Sure.
It's like Texas in that regard.
Churning them out. Let's take a look real quick, some information here. Just kind of landing up the 2 teams as well. It's all right there for you for UCF. And 124 versus top 25 teams, 2-14 versus the SEC. Now, of course, 0-3 versus South Carolina, which is certainly good. You know, for us, we do bode well for that.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, it's also talk about the big chip on the shoulder of these guys.
Absolutely.
In UCF. Is that going to play in? Are they going to be able to translate that into a hard game?
They're definitely going to come out fired up. You know, some of these schools, UCF, FAU, they're full of guys that were an inch shorter, maybe a little bit slow, that thought they deserved bigger offers than they got. So they see games like this as a chance to really prove themselves against top teams. However, for the most part, there's still a reason that they're at UCF as opposed to South Carolina or Florida or Florida State. So South Carolina's got more talent, they've got more depth, and they should be able to come out on top. Not to say that UCF might put together a couple drives.
Put a couple of dings in their armor. Yep. Sure. All right, so I need the official LeftoverHotdog.com prediction of the final score for Saturday's game.
We're going to go 28-16 Carolina. We think Carolina might slow the ball down a little bit, pound it with Mike Davis, try and keep Blake Bortles on the sideline. UCF may move the ball, put together a couple drives. We think Carolina defense is really going to get tough in the red zone, hold them to some field goals, and Carolina's going to come out on top with a win.
There you go, man. LeftoverHotdog.com is a blog. You can check out all the analysis. Great stuff. Kick, by the way, is at noon on Saturday down in Florida. Brian, I appreciate it, man. LeftoverHotdog.com and go Cox.
Absolutely.
Stick around. We got a lot more Good Day Columbia on the way, including our game day forecast, at least game day up here